What is going on? What is going on, everyone? Thank you all for joining in. Hope you're all right. Hope you're all right. Hope you can hear me. I'm testing out a new microphone. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay, or if it needs turning up, or if it just sounds like shit. If it is, then I'll just unplug it. But yeah, hope you're all right. Bit different today. We were going to do a watch along for TMNT 2007, but couldn't get the guys together schedule wise. So um, that had enough time to sit down and watch it. So yeah, we're gonna move that on to another date. And yeah, so today you're going to be talking about toy photography. Now, I have been overwhelmed with reception regarding the new series, Toy Photography Beginner's Guide, and I can't thank you enough. It's been great, great feedback, great reception. I'm glad you're all enjoying it. And yes, I just wanted to fire up the camera and yeah, any questions whatsoever. I'll be going over some bits and pieces, some stories, just going through my old Insta, my little journey into it. And yeah, any questions you want, hit me up in the chat and I'll answer them for you live. So yeah, let me know how you are doing. Hit the like button if you can, really helps the algorithm. But yeah, so there's a few things I wanted to go over today, in between stuff. Um, but yeah, so far, it's been all right actually. The reception for the Toy Photography Beginner's Guide, something I wanted to do for a while, but it's just trying to find a block of time to do it. In between custom projects, I normally have a wave of doing toy photography, then a wave of doing custom stuff, and it's hard to balance in between. Um, so with that, I just thought, you know what, no, let me get this done. I've got sort of enough time to get it smashed out, so I planned it out, and yeah, so just starting from the very basics. We're all started somewhere. If you're just starting yourself, to there's a big journey from where I am now to where I was, and I just wanted to help in sort of not relieving it. Tanner Meakin, Milkin. Sorry if I'm butchering that name, mate. How you doing, man? Hope you're all right. Thank you for joining in. But yeah, just wanted to alleviate some of the stress, if I will, of the journey that I took. Making it a bit better. Timothy configuration. Hello there, General Kenobi. Hmm. So yeah. So with my journey, I might as well start it off. See, I began all this with just customizing straight, just straight customizing. Then that's a whole nother story. But as soon as I started deciding to put my custom stuff off of me personal Instagram onto my and create a whole new account, then I started getting some traction and getting more into the community, realizing how big the community was, and that is where the rabbit hole began. Um, Started getting in touch with people, started forming relationships, chatting away. Yes, thank you, Tim and T. Don't forget to smash that like button. Helps with the algorithm. And then I was watching some YouTube, started watching some toy related YouTube, figure reviews, custom work. Glenn Webb was a massive inspiration in that. And then all of a sudden I hit Al's Figures YouTube channel, the diorama maker. And it was a car video of his where he started having a rant. And in that, he told all about ACBA. First time I've ever heard of it on the Facebook group. So I started exploring that, and that opened up my entire world, just seeing what people were doing, and couldn't believe it. All positive comments. I like you getting for the toy photography series. All well deserved. Fantastic. Thank you, Maverick. It's good to have you here, man. Good to have you here. Bit different today. But we are going to be doing that watch along another day. I don't know when yet. It's just whenever our schedules can align. But yeah, so thanks, man. I'm really happy with the reception it's getting. So yeah, once I'd hit ACBA, the Facebook group, started looking around and seeing what can be done with action figures, and I was like, okay, I've got to start having a play with this, showcasing this stuff. And yeah, my earlier work is terrible, absolutely terrible. I've got my old Instagram. We're going to go through some. It's but I started doing shelf shots, a bit of Photoshop here and there, not like Lightroom or Adobe, like real shitty app, and started, wanting to get better and better, just, learn little things here and there with the paper backdrops. And I was still, had no idea about how to hide a flight stand to get them up in the air. I was still just erasing them out with an app. And it didn't look good because every time I put a picture into an app, it degraded the picture in order to do this and that and the other. Twistify, what up? Welcome, mate. How you doing, man? How are you? Hope you're all right. But yeah, let me know if you want to hop in and tell some of your stories. But if not, I'm glad you're here in the chat, man. I really appreciate it. So let me just get out of that. But yeah, so once I started doing that, I started to communicate with other toy photographers, seeing what they were doing. I really wanted to try and just get better and better and better. And I didn't have much in the way of accessories. I was relying on what came with action figures. And then I started branching out into, the just eBay, what you could finding bundles on job lots on eBay for like wrestling job lot of accessories. Started looking into dollhouse miniatures, and I'm going to do a whole video on this to try and let you know the best way to acquire different props and accessories. But yeah, over time the accessory game grew. Still at the point of I didn't have a tripod or anything. I was holding the camera. Then I got a little mini gorilla tripod, so it freed up my hands so I could then hold some lights all over like this. And yeah, it took me a while to get away from the phone, but I'm really glad I did. And I then decided I felt confident enough to post something on ACBA. Again, it weren't very good, but I appreciated what it was about and what the reception was. So yeah, keep hitting that like button, guys, if you can. That'd be really good. But yeah, one of my biggest inspirations, one of the accounts I followed religiously was Simon Hill, Plastic Snaps. On Instagram, Photo Viper. Hello there, General Kenobi. Let me know if this mic's okay. It's a brand new mic I'm testing. So if it needs turning up or if it sounds like poo, let me know. But yeah, so he was a big inspiration, especially when it came to hiding flight stands. He actually called out one of my shots that I did because not called me out. He basically asked if it was photoshopped or if it was tangible. Again, first time I'd ever heard that word. Next time, bro, about to play some football. Fair play, man. I appreciate you stopping by anyway, though. Really means a lot, man. Thank you. Go follow Twistify, by the way, as well. Definitely a good dude, and I really appreciate him. Yeah, so yeah, drop your before you go, head out, drop your user handle on in the chat. Let them know where you are, man. Let them link straight to you, and appreciate your work. But yeah, no, definitely we'll have you on, definitely, because I want to do more of these if I can, because I love talking toy photography and just figs in general. So yeah, and I caught your Titan Heroes show last night. I loved it. The kaiju stuff is something that always fascinates me, and I just love being immersed in it. So keep going, man. I'll keep promoting you as well. No worries about that. But yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so I said to him that I don't know how I could have done this without Photoshop, because it was a big open area and I was ignorant at the time. And then he said there's always tangible ways, and I was at first I was like, God, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see the tangible way of hiding in that particular shot. But I took it on board and I just kept studying his work. Yeah, man, Maverick, if you want to hop on, bro. If you want to hop on, let me send you the codes. Hold on. So yeah, and any else, let me just get to you. My mentor was Cosplay Chris and being dioramas. He was one of my inspirations for doing custom work. So we share that. Cosplay Chris is fantastic. He hasn't done much in the way of collectible customizing in a while, but the stuff he did, and the first one I caught him when he just literally gave that the DC Multiverse, the Mattel armored Batman from BBS, when you just gave it a simple dry brush. That was literally it. It was like, I can do that, and that was one of my first, and I'll show you in a minute. There you go. If you follow Akira Joe on Instagram, if you haven't, follow him on Instagram. Fantastic account, great dude as well. All good, man. Yeah, no, let me get you Maverick 1 second, mate. Let me copy the text, copy that. And boom. There you go, man. in your Instagram DMs. So yeah, I started following his account, and you know, I was trying to improve in the ways that I could. You know, I didn't really have anything in the way of diorama pieces. I was using printed backdrops. I'd found some pieces of paper that had brickwork on it that I had on a bit of cardboard just as a backdrop of some kind. Killer Cheese, hey, what's up? How you doing, brother? Thanks for dropping by, man. I appreciate it. Share brothers, yes we do. Yes we do, Timothy. Yes we do. So yeah, then I got in touch with Tom. I was still doing custom work at this time. So I got in touch with Tom. And by the way, my shots at this period of time, and I'll show you soon, were still really bad app Photoshop for effects and flight stand hiding, you know. But I was learning ACBA, you know, as much as it gets criticized for being mean, it's not, you know, there's nothing wrong. There are people in there that literally just chime in, they observe, they just chime in to bash or for anything controversial that happens in the group, and that's the only time they chime in. But you know, 90% of it, they're all good dudes on there, and they're all just willing to learn, you know. And I hats off to anyone who's new and they want to just throw their hat in the ring, and you know, it get recognized, and you know, you'll get feedback. You know, most of feedback is pretty decent. You know, they'll let you know some areas that, you know, you did well on, and other areas that, you know, you tweak this, tweak that for your next shot and see how you get on. So yeah, give me a sec to power my nose, out of my nose, and I'll join you. You got to do your hair as well. I ain't no cavemen on the show. Come on now, doll yourself up. Let me have a look at the chat. I copied that TMNT rooftop diorama. Yes. Oh, yeah. The quarter scale one he did, that went viral. I saw adverts on Facebook for that thing that someone else had done. That thing was amazing. Yeah, check out Cosplay Chris's YouTube channel if you haven't. But yeah, so I can imagine you were very much inspired. That inspired me nearly. I just didn't know where to start. Mark Todd, good evening, chaps. Good evening, good sir. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, no, where was I? I was trying to remember where I was. Oh, you threw me off. I was just reading the chat. So no foam or anything. No, it was wood, wasn't it? I can't remember what Cosplay Chris's diorama build was made of. I got to watch that again, because that, his giant Hulkbuster, his Ben Affleck big Batman that he gave to the flick pick. All of that, loved it. That's what got me into customizing. So yeah, after, I'm trying to remember where I was in the timeline of Ben. I was trying to remember where I am. So yeah, it's ACBA. I was just monitoring it. I didn't know what C-sides were, behind the scenes, and I was looking at behind the scenes, especially of Simon stuff, and I was just like, I'm miles away from achieving anything like this, miles away. But you know, I wanted to get there. And you know, when it comes to props and diorama, it is an investment. You can't just, you know, if you can, of course, you can, if you can just make it rain on getting all this stuff right away, do it. You know, do it. It is an investment. This hobby is expensive, even outside of just collecting. But yeah, so I was just gathering bits here and there, slowly but surely. You know, and I was learning on how to stage a shot. I wanted to throw everything that I had in one shot to show off the diorama, to show off the accessories, and I realized that weren't really what it was about. You know, I was still doing high angles. I hadn't really grasped it. If you come in low and a bit closer, you know, doing some Dutch angles, you could really elevate it to make it look like a scene rather than just a picture of your desk with a bunch of shit on it. So yeah, it was a big learning curve. But yeah, it was when I met Tom. I can't remember which group it was, but I'd reached out because I was still doing customs at the time. I was making me an Iron Man Mark 1, which I was basically refurbing and beefing up that really old, which they re-released in Marvel Legends for me, you know, the one that came with the 2-pack of that Tony. They didn't do anything to it apart from add some paint, and it still had the rocket launcher gimmick, that one. But I just stripped it down bare, got rid of that gimmick, kit bashed some flamethrowers, gave it a whole new paint job, did a bunch of shit on the back, and made some flame effects. But it was for a friend. It was for a friend's birthday, and I wanted to make a diorama base out of sand, and I wanted some barrels. So I wanted some in-scale barrels. And I reached out. I said, look, can anyone tell me where I can get some in-scale barrels from? And Tom responded. I think someone recommended Tom, and then Tom responded to me, and then we just started chopping it up. You know, I appreciated his suggestion, and then we just became friends. You know, and spoken to him pretty much every day since then, and that was about 4 years ago. You know, and admired his diorama work, and it commissioned one from him as soon as I had enough. Told him my budget, and that was the rooftop diorama. And I'll throw all this into a separate video. This just for if you wanted to know the story now. And I managed to get my hands on my first diorama, which is a rooftop, 4 sides, flat base. It had specifically 2 different on top, top buildings. It had a smaller one with windows you could open up, and there was like, walls and desk and stuff in there. Or it had like a stairwell structure. And he gave me, which I'm currently using as a desk tidy, a water tower. So it gave me some options to expand on my photography. But what was great was I could disassemble it as it was modular and create different things with it. I could create a street scene by having the base as the street, and 2 of the sides stacked up could be the wall. And that's another thing I want to go over, is what you can do with a diorama apart from what it was actually designed for. Let me just have a quick look at the chat. Tac Tac Customs, favorite ACBA, recreating a movie scene, comic book panel, or your own inspiration? Favorite ACBA, you mean artist or just general what I prefer to shoot? Artist would, for me, it's a few. I'm fans of quite a few. Will always fall on my biggest inspiration being Simon, Plastic Snaps. A massive fan of Brandon. Posable Productions, for his cutout game alone is crazy. Like I say, I like to think of certain artists that are franchise goats, as in they only shoot really this specific franchise. They may branch out, but when they shoot this franchise in particular, that no one else's shots come close to them. That you can get just as good, but they are masters at their craft. And there's Brandon with Batman, the animated series, Heitekun for Transformers, and Harold for Godzilla. Just, they are my personal opinion. Recreating movie scenes, I personally prefer recreating movie scenes. I kind of like capturing real, or making them feel real. I do enjoy the comic book stuff because I can have some fun with the exaggerated posing and stuff like that. I can go for a colored backdrop, or some cutout play. And sometimes I just like to find something else. I will often. I enjoy recreating movie scenes, especially from Turtles. You know that. But sometimes I do enjoy my own thing. I like to shoot stuff that's in reference to something. Like maybe it's in a movie, but this is my perspective of something going on within that movie that you never saw in the movie. You know what I mean? Or Spider-Man fighting a villain, just something that you've never seen before. I try and go to circuit and do a lot of it. TMNT configuration, but I have to admit, working on the wood more fun than foam and cardboard. I realised that when I'm laying down all the wood sticks farmhouse. Oh, okay, so you're more of a carpenter. Okay, fair play. Oh, what you prefer to shoot? Yeah, prefer to shoot movie, not necessarily recreations, but the style of shot with the lighting and stuff like that. And majority of my collection is movie figure based. I have quite a bit of comic book stuff too, but I do enjoy my movie stuff just because stuff I never had as a kid. I love the live action movies that the cartoons I enjoyed were based on, and the only toys you could get was of cartoon stuff. And as much as I loved it, I really wanted figures of that movie stuff, and they didn't do it until now, which is like Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, TMNT. But comic book movies really weren't massive around that time. So that's my preferred thing to shoot. I just started working with insulated foam board. Oh, nice. I haven't, because I've only started dabbling in diorama making myself, like, just bits and pieces here, more like diorama pieces rather than full blown. Outside of that sewer layer I haven't really done much else, but we can get big, thick blue foam, but the pink foam is really more difficult in the UK. So normally, that's horrible sound. This thin shit. Yeah, that's thin shit. But it's cheap. But it works. So I'll throw some bits together. What's insulated foam board? Is that the pink thick foam? Let me know. So yeah, once I was able to acquire it, I don't any movie that doesn't have an action figure line that deserves one. Yes. Good question, and it's one that's I need to think. One I've been gagging for. It's kind of what got me into customs is figures that either NECA had started a line, but they're notorious for never finishing it because of likeness rights and shit. I would then finish like Predator, which is what I started customizing because I wanted to complete the extraction team. I actually still need to do that because annoyingly I get distracted and I move on from other things. I managed to get about three members of the team down and I moved on. But in terms of need their own line and never had one, I believe there's quite a few cult movies that I could really love to just one or two figures from. I'd love some figures from Equilibrium, one of my favorite movies, but it's so cult and not that many people have seen it. I doubt it will ever get a line. Desperado, the Antonio Banderas, actually made a custom of that ages ago. I ended up pulling it apart because I needed other parts. District 9, some of those prawn aliens would be wicked. Starship Troopers. I know there was some figures way back in the day, but some newer ones would be awesome. What else is there? I'll have to have a think on it, but that's the only three that come to mind at the moment. Timothy, that's why I bought 20 foam years ago, but have 11. Does that mean, you still have 11? Okay, so that means you bought 20 pieces of foam and you have 11 now? How long are we talking ago? But yeah, check out TMNT configuration. What he does with TMNT dioramas is ridiculous. Him and Petro are gods in TMNT diorama making. Just follow him. Yeah, definitely. District 9 figures. I agree. As chap, I like this thing with Neil Blomkamp's movies, whether you find them like in terms of the story, whether you think the story's good or not, the visuals are always pretty sick. Like Chappie, got a lot of heat from the story. A lot of people didn't like the story in particular, but the designs of the robots, of him himself, and the tech that Neil Blomkamp has in his movies, even Elysium, a lot of people bashed on that movie, but if you just look at it from visuals, the designs of the ships and the mech suit and stuff like that. I love his tech. I would have really loved to have seen his Alien movie if he got the chance to do it. You know what I mean? So I like his designs on stuff. But yeah, District 9 would have been great. Escape from New York. Oh yes. We need some more Kurt Russell. Just hands down. Yeah, give me Big Trouble Little China as well. Mad Max Fury Road. Oh yeah. Good. My God, yeah, you're pulling them out like that, aren't you? Yeah, Fury Road would be great. We need a decent Tom Hardy figure. Apart from just head casts floating around, we need a solid, legit one. I'd love Warrior. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Is that Tom Hardy movie Warrior with Joel Edgerton, because that's incredible, that movie, and I'd love two of those. So yeah, I still need to finish my Scott Adkins Boyka figure. It's just finding. I've got the two Boyka head sculpts in 1/6 scale. I just need them in 1/12, and I wasn't able ever to get them head shrunk. But now with the age of 3D printing, I'd love 3D print. I'd love to get those in 1/12. But yeah, so once I'd done that, and then I started getting involved with another group. Going back onto the toy photography side of Action Toy Art, ATA. And they were some good dudes. I really enjoyed their company and they were great. They were really great. They weren't so much as the anti ACBA. They were just kind of like just a different branch. You didn't have to worry about Photoshop. You could do everything you want. And there were some good dudes. That's where I met my friend Nick, Lenses on Figures, Gerard. There were some good dudes in there, and I used to follow their podcast. So it was just a shame that they went out, but I met some good people there. These Damn Toys, met through them. They were great. Yeah, just great people. And from there, I was still doing ACBA, of course, but then came Photo Combat 3, the tournament. or Photo Combat 3. You know. Let me have a look at the chat. Die Hard Bruce Willis action figure and Hans Gruber. It would be brilliant, wouldn't? Yes. You know, see NECA, man. Obviously, NECA did their Die Hard, that one figure that was like a statue and had a horrible head sculpt, but everyone bought it because they wanted the gun, because it's perfect for Dylan. And people still have it, and they've been customizing their own. And what customs I've seen of John McClane has been great. But we do need an updated official Die Hard and Hans Gruber and some Samuel. Got some Samuel in there too, just for the hell of it. Photo Viper 112 is okay, but 118th is my jam. Nice, man. Yeah, whatever jam is your jam, man. It's just there's a lot of jam going on, but I love it. Whatever scale tickles your pickle, whether it's 16, 112, 118, hell, go for it, man. You know, it's great. You know, I actually feel jealous because there's obviously a shit ton of accessories and clothing options to kit out and do stuff for 1/6, and there's tons of diorama sort of accessory style stuff with 118 vehicles, especially. Just 112, it kind of like gets a bit crazy. We're trying to find in scale vehicles, you know, stuff like that. But no, yeah, I love it, mate. Hope you're enjoying it. I've got to go. Cheers, dudes. Excellent. Yes. Follow Tanner. All good. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I'll be doing videos throughout the beginner's guide stuff, covering about this, what I'm talking about more. This is just kind of like my story, but this will be up here if you want to play it back later to get some more of it. But I appreciate you stopping by, man. Thank you. And go follow him. Okay. And let me just see if there's anyone hanging in the back. There is. Sorry, everyone. Yeah. Okay, we have a guest, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Oh my word, he's got the COVID beard going on.
Hello.
Hello, mate. If you were bald, you would look like Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. How you doing, man?
How's things, mate?
Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah, it's all good. Big news week for toys this week. I'm very excited.
Been crazy. I know. If we'd done the watch along, I would have been like, give me this like 15-minute window and just gone blah 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 blah, and then we'll get to the movie. But yeah, I was going to talk about some actually. I was going to save it just for some shit talking at the end. But no, it was some big news for toy photography, for action figures for sure. NECA finally decided to actually drop some TMNT related stuff. Not that they hadn't dropped some heat during Toy Fair, just, you know, they kept saying we've got about 10 plus these, that, we've got tons more. It's like, great, where are they? You know, but yeah, we got official version of him, which is what I've been waiting for to have confirmed. So people might start getting off my back about wanting the bloody crown 3D printed. So yeah, because I mean, people, bless them, people have been asking, because I've got the files now, because my printer guy isn't printing anymore. But it's like, I haven't found a trustworthy printer here in the UK yet that I'm confident to give him the file to do it. And I was kind of been holding off because I knew we were getting an official version anyway. I was like, come on, NECA, just say it. And they did. So, but yeah, other than that, how's everything with you, man? You good?
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's all good my side for sure. With that Secret View shredder though, we'll see how it turns out. So they're saying like that crown. I don't think it's quite as good as your custom, mate. It's not quite got the angle. I don't know if it's as big as it should be.
Well, I mean, design-wise, because that was put together as best as possible on CAD or wherever my mate was using to design it. The look, I think, will be all right. It is like literally, as you say, the placement, and we are really nitpicky here. I mean, but don't worry, this is what we do. You know, we're divas when it comes to our team and T. Like, no, take it back, do it again. So yeah, it needs to be slightly lower because the gap really wasn't, and that's what made it more imposing, was the fact that it was leaning so far forward. It was more up than it was back. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, even if it is just a simple case of heating it up and lowering it and holding it, and it's fine. But it'll be an interesting custom versus official video, put it that way. So
yeah.
But yeah, just so anyone watching hasn't followed, my man's here in Maverick 5 UK, he done a pretty sick Usagi Yojimbo custom recently.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir.
This whole conversation is, I don't care. I'm happy talking about any part of this hobby whatsoever. So, delving into a little bit of custom stuff. But yeah, I'm taking you're really happy with the end result. It should be, because it's fantastic.
I'm over the moon with how it turned out, definitely. Because like I say, it's like I've just started getting like I've always been quite good with with the milli put and the sculpting, but getting into the soft goods is something that I did it with my last custom, the last Ronin, and now definitely I've been fine tuning it a little bit more. It's actually we've got him right here.
Here we go. Let me give you a single. Where are you? View, gallery view. Right, here we go. I'm gonna keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. I'm going to. Why can't I make you spotlight? Oh, Zoom. I hate Zoom. I wish I had a better one. 2 seconds. Okay. Right. I don't know if you're on spotlight. Yeah. So if you talk, speaker view. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
We've got some interchangeable ears. So we've got some more dynamic ones here.
Magnus is. See now this is the thing. You've set the bar so high. I don't even anything NECA. If NECA were to be able to put out their own Usagi, it ain't going to be half as good as that. You know?
I just, it was a conversation I was having with Tom, and we just kind of got into the subject of it, and I was like, what happens if one came with like interchangeable ears, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it myself.
That's it. I love it when you can just geek out about what the possibilities of it could be, and it's great. But yeah, that's just genius.
And you've got his little ears poking out the back as well.
Yeah, that's rad, man. That really is. He must. I know. I'm amazed to see it. I did speak to him. He's pretty much shot a load. He had to have a cigarette after he looked at your pictures. Like, oh.
So this is like I've always been good with creating them, but this is definitely where toy photography can come into play here, because I'm not very good at taking pictures of them to showcase them.
Yeah.
So I think definitely coming to your channel, it's really helping with like lots of tips, like how to use your camera, a mobile camera, rather than like a DSLR. You can do something as simple as that, and something else as well is that you don't need like a ton of like diorama pieces or anything like that.
No.
Like a lot of your shots that you take, it's so simple but really effective.
Yeah.
Like your Christopher Superman, it was just a light blue piece of card, but in my mind I could see clouds and everything. So
yeah, that's it, man. I mean, sometimes I'll pull away, and what looks like something a bit more complex, sometimes it's literally just you pull away and it's just one piece here, one piece over there, one over here. There's buckle going on in between, but it just aligned to form something that had depth to it. And it is just around. I mean, I love every aspect of this hobby when it comes to not just collecting. That's just the bread and butter, but when it comes to toy photography or custom and dio making, whether it's making a diorama purely for display, all right, so it's fixed one position, ain't going nowhere, just to make your display look 10 times nicer, or a diorama which is modular, which you can then pull apart and Tetris it to hell in order to make it work in a shot in any way you want. Yeah, I mean, that's why I was able to use Tom's rooftop diorama to make street scenes, just because I just pulled it apart and rearranged them in a different way. Yeah, and when people layer stuff to give you the illusion of it being something else, I love all that. And even like just to fill in an empty bit of space, sometimes I'll just dangle something above the camera, just like a bit of anything, just like there's a bit of debris. Here you go, it's out of focus, you ain't going to see what it is, but it looks like it's flying towards the camera. But yeah, with the phone, because obviously with a camera, that's what I've sort of noticed when you're looking through obviously a DSLR, you've pretty much got the box format. You know, it gives you that straight on. You know, if you want it up, it's going to look up. If you want it down, it's going to look down. With the phone, you're getting that wide view all the time. So you can see everything that's going on below here and everything that's going on up here. So it is a lot more difficult to fill out the scene with a phone than it is a camera, because the camera gives you that letterbox. So, you know, they can just have to focus on that. But with a camera, it's so open. And you've got, you know, sometimes I tried doing a shot. This recent Batman shot I did, I wanted to try and recreate the Justice League Batman scene where he's standing on that gargoyle just looking down and you've got like the blue lightning sky above him. And I had the angle. Had the angle perfect, because obviously this one came with the gargoyle. But I did not have a big enough backdrop to go all the way that up from my camera looking up. All you were seeing was my shelf, and my backdrop that I had stopped like here, and I couldn't fill it above. I just couldn't. I didn't have anything big enough. The piece of which I've got the printouts here, because this again would be a time when I used printouts. So I use so I've got a nice city one there for a perspective shot.
Nice.
Trying to find that was difficult.
Yeah.
Trying to find a city perspective shot is not easy. Which I'll be using a later TMNT shot. Finally got myself just some side buildings that actually look like, you know,
that looked great on a TMNT shot.
Yeah, like the scene Mikey and Donnie on the roof when they're talking to Shredder before they fight him in TMNT 1, you know, and they, you know, not so much as the camera looking past their heads at Shredder, but when the camera's on those two and you've got the block of flats behind them, they're on the roof, but obviously you've got a street and then it's a block of flats. It is quite close to those block, and all you're seeing is just a bunch of windows behind them, you know, when he goes and just gives them a nudge. Or that's pretty much where this is going to come in. But it took a long time on Google to find that. But this is what I was really looking at. Was this. All right. So it's big enough. Unfortunately, the file couldn't fit full A3. But again, I've only got access to a size A3 printer, not A5 or A like 1 or 2. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get the backdrop big enough. So I thought, okay, let's just change it up. I can't do that angle yet. I will try another time. How about we come a bit closer and just get a close up, but have the cape like spawning around him, you know, because it's the big, massive 4-wired cape, you know, similar to the Jim Lee pose on the gargoyle when he's standing, which is what the whole point of the basis for. But I wanted him a bit more crouched down, a bit more Dark Knighty. So I decided to go for that. So that's the thing when it comes to toy shots, when your idea doesn't work out first time round, just keep playing with it, because something else might spring to mind. And you make the rather than just wasting all that time with a setup that isn't going to get used. There's so much else you can do with it. You just got to, you know, if an idea isn't working and there really is no other way around it, just think of something else, put it aside, you know, don't worry about, you know, oh, fuck, I really wanted this to work. Get rid of that and just see what you can do with what you do have and get something to work. So yeah, that's what I pulled it out. I mean, I was happy with the shot as well. So it's not the best thing I've ever done, but you know, I wanted to take a picture of that figure.
No, it's great. I'm sending the comments on it when you posted that the lighting was on point on that picture. Definitely, you nailed it.
I appreciate it, man. Let's just have a look now. Actually, I'm going to get to the chat in just a second, guys. 1 second. Just want to do this and go to here. That's the back end of my channel. So this is the one. Oh, there you go. This one. This is the one I was referring to. So yeah, that's again just a piece of small. Actually, I've got it here. It's up there. It's just the top of another rooftop that I've got just on my desk, and obviously because I've still got the figure there, and the base just sat on the corner, and I just had him like that. So yeah, just dicked around with the lights. Oh, we've got Tom Green here. Admit. Yes, you can come in, Tom. Yes, you can come in. Yeah, so it was just literally that yellow light was this one. Where is it? That one.
There we go.
Just at the bottom. Alan, mate, you okay, buddy?
Yeah, good mate. Yourself?
He didn't want to watch TMNT with me.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I don't even
I'm
mind
not watching that poo-poo movie.
How's it going, Tom? You all right, mate?
Yeah, good mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good.
Okay, all right, let's have a look at the old chit-chat. Just quickly find out where I am. So I missed quite a bit. Cheers, TMNT 112 out of room, 112. James Bond, Sean Connery, James Bond and Roger Moore. Yes, we need some more 112 James Bonds, 100%. 16 stuck, never opened. The door to 112 volcano, one quarter volcano. A volcano? You mad? You insane? That'd be awesome. You're a mad scientist, TMNT configuration. Have you seen Corpricus on YouTube? His 112 photography is the boss. No, but I will, because I do enjoy me some 1/6 toy photography. Definitely get on that. Thought it was him. We need some stuff. Heisenberg. Lenses on Figures. If you want to see some really good 1/6 Breaking Bad toy photography, check out Lenses on Figures _ each one. Amazing. That's my friend Nick. Now he looks like Leonard from Big Bang Theory with that genius. Yeah, Maverick, you do look like Leonard from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Is that a compliment? No.
Oh, you gotta Google it.
I've got a lockdown beard going on.
Lockdown beard. I know. I won't let mine get past this. I do have clippers, and I don't have hair. I just buzzed the bastard. The Photo Viper dope. Wow. Love it. Killing it. Congrats. Looks great. Anyone shooting the new He-Man line? Good question. New He-Man Origins figures. Yeah. Tollboy83. Hey guys, great guest. Wow, we have Jude. I think all of the wows. Maverick. That's for your Usagi custom. That's for your Usagi.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Going nuts for it. Turtle Boy, how we doing, Turtle Boy? See, look, they're here. They just don't want to watch the movie with me. It's fine. It's fine.
I want to watch the movie.
Don't lie to my audience, Tom.
Just not with you.
Now that I can respect. I got my Merman the other day. I want to pick up the Orko as well. I might do something combining them with Super 7 Filmation style figures. Nice. That'd be cool. Dwayne Legend is here. Oh, nice. Yes, Dwayne. Bro, I've been looking. Yes, I've been looking at your stuff, mate. Awesome. Wicked stuff. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, sorry it took so long to get to the chat, but I'm really grateful that you're here now. I really am. Have you shot anything with them yet, Viper? Here we go. It's just a conversation between the two. Ben, take a look at the chat. I know. No, I appreciate you being here, man. So that's cool. The farmhouse, yes. TMNT Configurations farmhouse is insane. It's almost as big as me, and I'm 6'6". I want to know where you have this room configuration. We're going to get you on, and I just want a tour of where you're keeping all this stuff because it's insane. But do follow TMNT Configuration. Shout out to Dwayne Shoots Toys as well. He's awesome. I love his YouTube channel. I love your little TMNT figure you done as well. But yes, massive shout out to Dwayne. Thank you, mate. I appreciate you. But yeah, so that's the chat. So Tomo, apart from not watching TMNT with me, you did a shot today, didn't you, of War Machine? But you had a little bit of a wee accident.
Oh, does my head in when that happens. The whole lot.
Regale us with the tale of the collapsing setup, if you'd please, good sir.
It wasn't even that much of a collapse. It was hardly a setup. It was only like some explosion effects. And it's literally, I plugged everything in, all the lights for it.
Yeah.
And then one of them just... and that wiped out everything. There were lights on the floor, all the specs on the floor, the cutout went flying.
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
But it wasn't even a complicated setup. It was just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens, and it's so annoying. I've had it where it's happened like 3 or 4 times in the one shoot, and I got to the point where I just wanted just to slam it all across the wall, you know. that's just passion. That's not, you know, it wasn't gamer rage or anything like that, but it nearly gamer rage.
It happens to me all the time. I don't even use proper dioramas. I just use bits of dioramas all the time.
Yeah.
So they're like magnetized together and they're just wedged up with like hairspray bottles and beer cans and God knows what.
Oh, that's the fun. That's making something work using anything around you. The amount of times I prop my shit up on all sorts of crap, whatever I can find. You know, whatever I can find. Yeah, just anything. Just to keep something steady, get something off the floor. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. But yeah, the tale of the collapsing setup is one we all share. And if you're new, you will go through it too. And it's not fun. It really isn't. Just one thing can just domino affect the whole lot. And then trying to set it back up again is always so hard, trying to get it the way you had it, especially if you were just in the middle of taking it.
Yeah. I had like 2 shots and then it came down. And then the shot that I actually finished in the end was completely like all different positions because I just couldn't get it back to where it was.
It is a big pain in the ass, mate. Where's my fake fluid? Yeah, no, I haven't. Touch wood, I haven't had it happen to me in a while. Sorry, mate.
I said Tom still nailed it with that shot. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great shot. I loved it.
Yeah, mate. It came out all right, but nothing exciting. But I only had like half an hour to do it.
That's another thing. Is time frame. It is time frame.
Oh yeah.
You know, like during the week, I will do my best to do something if I'm motivated. Other than that, I'm pretty much dead to the world until I get to the weekend. So I cherish whatever time I can grab annual leave wise. If I'm lucky enough to be on this COVID rotation where I'm off for working from home, any time like that, I'll jump on. Is Tom Super Customs Tom? No, it's not Super Customs Tom. That's that's
different. Tom.
Another Tom Green that does customs. It's really he's a good dude though as well. He gets tagged in a bunch of stuff that this Tom gets tagged in by accident. This one's Toy Art 2 on Instagram if you follow him. Yeah, so 1 second, let me see if anyone's in the back end. No, we're good. Right. So yeah. But yeah, man, so the collapsing setup. Another shot came out good, man. Let's have a look.
That was fun. My first war machine. I have all the SHS. I've never owned a war machine.
I noticed that. I had no idea. Is that a recent pickup then? That's the back end of my channel.
Yeah, it turned up today.
Ah, excellent. Okay. 1 second. Where's the come out of that? Go away. Where's my search? There we are. What version of War Machine is it?
The Mark IV.
Civil War one.
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Why is it called Tristan's Toy Art? No, Tristan Toy Art. Well, nice toy art by the way, but just not who I'm wanting to look at right now, man. Right. There we are. No, why is it done it again? Hold on, we'll get it shoved right at the top. There we go. Right, yeah.
In fact, I'm about to go follow that geezer. It looked quite good.
Yeah. Here we go. I like it, man. So I like the cutout placement as well. It's crisp. You can't see any edges. That War Machine does look amazing, though.
It's a quality figure. Like I say, I've never owned a War Machine in all. Like, I've been collecting SHF since Age of Ultron figures.
Yeah.
And this is the first one I bought.
I don't think I ever. Oh no, I've got the Endgame Iron Patriot one. But top. But I mean, if SH Figure Arts, you guarantee two different lines that they will kill each time, and one of them, Dragon Ball Z, obviously, and Iron Man suits, including War Machine suits.
Any armored suit they knock out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I am a big collector of SH Dragon Ball Z and MCU figures, so they definitely nail them.
Yeah. Or their recent Gamora. Wow. Have you seen their recent Gamora, Maverick?
I've not, actually.
Oh, yeah. This is one of those times where Marvel Legends whoop their ass.
It's really not good.
Really?
Yeah, it was a shame. And their Falcon Winter Soldier stuff, people were like, but yeah, some, I can't give all of them, but some, they knock it out of the park.
Mayfex are catching them now.
Now, taking them a while.
The Spider-Verse figures are fantastic for them.
Yeah, for sure. Let me have a look at the chat quickly. Right.
I'm just saying, as like a child.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh man, just follow Super Climb Customs. Yeah, good account actually. Star Marvel 76, the bane of my existence. Oh, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. Definitely keep smashing that like button if you're new, if you're just jumping on, but I appreciate you stopping by. Springtime is here. I'm excited to do more work in natural light. I don't know, have I done a shot in natural light before? I can't remember. I don't think I have.
I have when I first started and didn't realise you needed lights. And then literally put a figure out and take a photo of it. Some people nail it. Like,
oh yeah,
so good. And it just, if I do it, it looks like I'm taking it on a phone from like 1984 or something.
Sepia tone. I know, there's an art to it. There is an art to it. Although you yourself just took something non-figure related, didn't you, recently?
Oh, I've been getting into it.
I turn into that. Street photography.
It's been great fun.
I can see the appeal for sure, especially if you've got some eye-catching stuff around you, like out, where you live. I should take advantage of it more. I work in central London, for Christ's sake.
About that.
Yeah, there's some crazy architecture. I just have to go above street level. If I go down, then that's where all the graffiti and scum. That's where all the unattractive shit is on the street. Let me have a look at the chat still. Photography, yes, absolutely. Thanks to everyone who tries to teach and give pointers. Yeah, man, that's it. Because we wouldn't be here ourselves if it weren't for the advice and aid of others. Some weren't willing to share secrets, some were, and it's fine. I respect that. But the more this information is available, the more people can give it a try themselves. And I can't think of a better time than the situation we're in, and we're bored out of our nuts. Have been for the last year.
Yeah, there's nothing about being precious over their information.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, I wasn't going to put the beginner's guide behind a paywall. I'm just going, it's just learn, man. It's just have it out there. Glenn Webb was one of my biggest things that taught me different things I needed to about customizing a figure.
Mm-hmm.
My old man and cosplay Chris inspired me to give it a go, but his videos were it was out there. I loved the way he did it. It was just out there in the open, showed you bits and pieces of what you can do, and I want to do that with customs and photography, because obviously I'm still learning. There's a bunch of shit I still need to try and haven't learned yet. But what I have, and what we have from when we first started to now, so there's a lot I've learned in that time, and I might as well I want to start laying it all out there just so it can help someone. The grind and the struggle, everyone should experience, because that's something every photographer, if they want to go that route, is they should really go through that themselves. But dodge some of the hurdles that we had to run into. It's kind of where it is. Yeah,
there was a lot.
There is a lot. Yeah. So if I can show you what's up ahead, then you can prep better for it in terms of facing it.
Definitely some the top tips that you've given is the avoid dead space. I think that was definitely something that I was like, that's amazing. Something I wouldn't have even thought about. Get yourself a cool pose, but the spaces where there's nothing, put something there.
Yeah.
That was definitely a massive tip for me.
Yeah, I learned that. Someone told me that, and it was one of the big things on ACBA when they were giving advice to others, and I saw it, and I saw what they meant, in terms of framing and keeping everything contained. And you can have stuff that's cut off out of frame, but providing your main focal point, what you want to translate in whatever story you're telling within the shot, is there. Like you can have a figure half out the frame, but providing it's centered and if there's anything in the background, should be as not as eye-catching, but it's the scene, whatever scene scenario is there, like Superman. All that sky could be considered dead space, but it is the environment that he's in. He's in the sky. So, and because he's so brightly colored, your eye is still drawn straight to him, and you automatically know where he is, and you can appreciate what the shot is, even though there's nothing going on other than sky. It's the environment that he's in. That's the story you want to tell of what he's doing up there. So that's more, that's accepting. And with the other areas, like say where you could see the background, I had lightning, or there wasn't anything blocking anything. I try and avoid, and I made a mistake actually, and I was going to mention it on that my last beginner's guide video where I showed the RAF shot and fighting the foot on in the alleyway. There's a big sword going right obscuring the view of one of the foot soldiers, and that wasn't like that before. It was just it got nudged, and I didn't notice it until I'd already taken the picture and collapsed the set. But if I just brought that down, then his head would have been more visible. It weren't disturbing the head. But yeah, just little areas. Like if you can if you can get the pose the way you want it, but still it's play with the angle, so it sort of feels the scene a bit better. And I love playing with symmetry, which is something that Tom pointed out to me actually, which I didn't realize I'd done, and then he mentioned it, and now I can't stop thinking about symmetry in photos. I really can't. So yeah, let me just quick look at the old chit chat you back. First from Fraser is going to shoot. First form Fraser is going to shoot well. Oh, that's a Dragon Ball Z character. Sorry, I'm not versed in it. Maverick is though. But
Yeah.
is that a new one that's come out? First form Fraser.
It's going to be coming out pretty soon, yeah, and it looks pretty incredible. Nice.
How long have you each been shooting customizing? It's a good point. For me, because I think you were doing it before me, Tom. I think mine, was it roughly the same time? Do you think?
I think about 2015, start of 2016, around then.
Yeah, I think I was I think it was 2016 is when I first started dabbling in the custom game, and then I think it was the same year I started doing toy pictures. Because I think it was 2018 is when Photo Combat 3 was, wasn't it?
God, was it that long ago?
I think it was, yeah. Because that's when that was a turning point for me, was Photo Combat 3. Not just for how the comp went, it was just my determination in making sure I took a good shot. And I was like, not long before then I started using a DSLR. I'd moved away from the phone. But I guess it was because shots were getting pulled out of the, some of the shots in there were coming out incredible from everyone who participated. But I guess it was the pressure of competition really upped everyone's game, because you had a 2-week time span to get your shot done. And, some shots took hours to set up, others were, and you had plenty of time to get them in before the competition started. But that put the pressure on, because there was loads of shots that I had ideas for, but I had nothing. I needed to buy stuff and make sure it got in on time before I could execute the shot. I didn't have everything. But yeah, that was crazy, man. I never want to do a competition again after that. Yeah, that was mental. What toy lines are dead to you guys? Oh, Rob, good question, Rob. What toy lines would you say are just dead? Do you mean as in we don't bother collecting them anymore? And I think I know where you're going with this, because I saw your comment on Toys-R-Ama, and I know how you feel right now about the Lightning Collection Power Rangers line.
The Hasbro Ghostbusters line.
Oh Christ, yeah, that died the moment it got the movie line. Yeah, that didn't even start running. That barely made it in the walk-in. Yeah, I think the last big effort they tried with that was that Tully and the Terror Dog box set that was an exclusive. I don't think I'll be surprised.
But it's the wrong scale, so
yeah. exactly. I thought it would be sort of, you know, if they're going to do them that scale, I should have said it was that scale. But yeah, that's a good one. That's one I'd say is completely dead out of the gate now, which is a shame because that had promise. They could have done a lot with that. They could have done a lot. It's called a grind for a reason, for sure. Yes, yes. And that's another thing I wanted to touch upon, really, because there's different levels. People just want to take a picture of some figs posed up randomly, go for it. That's cool. You know, if you just want to make something funny. I started off just trying to do funny things because I never thought I'd get to the level of some of these people, nor did I think I'd ever take it that seriously. And I just would, like, you know, just put them up in funny pictures, funny poses, and just, you know, edit in some captions and just make people laugh. And I still enjoy it when I see it too, for sure. But yeah, so like if you wanted to, but then once you start doing it, you kind of like, no, I really want to make this better. I'm seeing what other people are doing and I want to do that. I want to do that. So, and then you start realizing it really isn't just as easy as snapping your fingers and doing it. There is a big investment in gathering everything you need. And I'm still buying shit. It's one of those things, the two things in toy photography that you can never have enough of, and that is props and lights. Continuously, you could settle with like 3 or 4 dioramas and that'll set you for a while, where you can make any combination of a scene you want.
Yeah, but if you have a look through my Instagram there, I think for the last year I've used 2 dioramas.
Yeah, I'm still on it
in multiple ways.
Yeah. Share screen. There we go. Right, let's kill that one. Move you. Which is the workshop stuff, wasn't it? The recent workshop. I mean, I like these recent ones you've done with the cutout game.
Oh yeah, again because I was getting bored of using the same diorama pieces.
Yeah. So the stuff with the cutout game, I love this stuff when you can implement this with comic book style shots. You know, Heitekun is incredible with it when it comes to his Transformers work.
Heitekun stuff for doing the cutouts.
Yeah, but I love this kind of stuff where you can implement this, and this is great. Obviously, if you've got access to a printer and lots of coloured ink, you're good. But yeah, I love this. This is great. The lighting here is absolutely superb. Absolutely superb.
A combination of 2 dios, and like I say, those 2 dios are the same ones I've been using for. I can't even remember how long I've been using it.
Yeah, you can just mash them up. Like the recent ones I bought from Danny Richardson, which he didn't even make it. Obviously, he had commissioned them from someone else, and he was getting out of the 112 game, focusing on 1/6, and he was selling them. And I was like, oh, I'll have them, add them to my arsenal, and I've been using them since. You know, I've been starting to use them as a backdrop in custom K videos. You know, just different variations of them. Put them together how you want. I've used your rooftop diorama more for street scenes than I have actually rooftops, because it works so well as a street scene.
That's the beauty of them. Like, just get a couple of dios and just mix and match it all together. They don't even have to be from the same artist.
No, that's it, because you get different, because every building's different. That's what's great. You keep it more realistic. You know, again, this is great.
That's just what it's all about. Is just using it for different.
Only limited by your imagination. That's it.
This is it. And if you go scroll down a few, obviously the street corners things there are all the same.
Yeah, but that's another thing I saw, which is what I give Boog credit for as well, because he does this quite a lot. If you've got something set up, you can do so many different, different character shots with the same setup. Just mix it up a bit, and it gives you content. You know. As if it's different people walking down the street. Obviously, you've got Goofy there busking, Parker reading a paper. You've got Steve Rogers reading a magazine, on his notebook, and here with the outdoor landscape setup,
which is 2 rocks and a bit of paper. It's literally that is 2 big rocks from the garden with a bit of blue paper behind it.
Just flood it with white.
that Peter B. Parker shot really looks like it's shot with natural lighting. Like, it's so good.
This one. Yeah,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
That's those little Loom Cube lights, or the Ulanzi Loom Cube ones.
So I've got a couple here, actually. I'll show. I don't know what. Tom, do you find mine overheat and die really quickly? Do yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have to constantly charge them up.
Yeah,
I
same.
get a set of Loom Cubes, but they're like 150 odd quid.
Yeah, having the cheap versions, I'll suffer it. I'm, trying to invest in some Loom Cubes. It's like you might as well you can buy a brand new digital camera for the price that you will for a set of Loom Cubes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Would love to own a set, but again.
Yeah, that's just with the yellow filter on it. Just literally stood behind the bike, and I think the yellow filter is probably my favourite for like daytime. Because, like I say, I can't do natural light. I'd probably get the same thing, but now I put it in a dark room and set hundreds of lights up to make it look the same.
Set it up to look like it, yeah. Hey, if you can, this is the thing to test your skill with lighting, is if you can make it look like it's shot outside when it really isn't, banging. So I love it all, man. It just being able to shoot outside is a skill on its own. Making something look like it is when it's actually inside, skill in its own. I love the elevation that you can constantly keep building when you're doing this art form. I sound like I'm trying to sell you something on an advert. It's crazy, but it's true. It is true.
It just goes to show, like, if like that Wall-E shot there,
this one here, yeah,
is again exactly the same setup,
and it looks like he's got sunlight coming down on him.
Yeah, but nothing's changed from like the Captain America shot. If you want like a few up, it's exactly the same thing. All I've done is move one wall and put the trash can behind him.
Yeah.
So it looks more like there's rubbish built up. Pop the Ulanzi down in the corner. So it just shows one setup you can do loads of different shots.
Yeah.
Just by changing a couple of little bits here and there. You don't have to change the whole setup.
Exactly. Just shift some around and you can make the most out of the setup. If you've got the time and your battery on your camera hasn't died yet and your lights still haven't died yet, if they're battery powered, that is, man, just pull some figures out and have some fun. Doesn't need to be just a one shot.
I mean, something as simple as changing the angle could change the entire shot. Like you could just move your camera a couple of inches to the side,
yeah,
and you'll end up with something completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, just don't think that just because you've only got like one diorama or something, you're stuck with doing the same thing over and over again.
No, exactly. Because that's what I love. Obviously, the figure is the focus, but his setting will be what your story is, or where he is, and what he's doing in the shot. So sometimes you could have, like, say for instance, this one, the setting plays a key part because you can see where he is. He's, Peter Parker's dumpster diving, dumpster right there, and your eye is still drawn to here. And you've got some, even though this isn't in focus, it's great. It feels the same. There's always something going on within the shot. It's
yeah. But again, like we said before, that's keeping it contained, and Parker's dead center. Like your eye is going to be drawn to the center before anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it comes to dioramas, I mean, you have all these fancy dioramas, and it's very tempting. I'm sure you probably touched on this already, but it's tempting to throw everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
But not what you're not shooting the diorama, you're shooting a scene. That's literally just the set.
Yeah. This is it. This is, I mean, like you say, yeah, people, I've seen some get carried away. They throw every prop they can in that one shot because they want to show off all their props. And I get it. I've done it too. And this is how you do it, but still have the focus of your shot being what you want. And this sets the scene, they're placed in where they need to be. This is trash, clearly see it. This is obviously part of this garage building here. And the dumpster, obviously they'll have a dumpster by it. It makes sense. And you'll hear that a lot. And it's true. I hate repeating other people, but make it make sense.
If you were doing a shot with it, like the cat walking down the street, having all that trash strewn everywhere wouldn't make sense.
No.
So just because you've got it all, you don't use it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant example. All right, let me have a quick look at the old chatty whack. So I'll just quickly share in there. Let me have a look over here. That's there. Excellent. Anyone new joining, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much for coming along and chilling with us as we talk toy photography. So let's have a look. What lines are dead? I'm just trying to find where we were. It's called Ground for a Reason. DSLR is the hardest aspect personally. Do you mean the settings on the camera or the aspect ratio that you're given? Because I know what you mean. Mine, I know some DSLR cameras you can change the aspect ratio. Mine's so old, the battery's dying so quick now. I'm actually may invest in a new one. But yeah, I'm limited with. Is it battery in there? Can't tell. No battery in it. But yeah, it's I'm limited. You know, just with that particular aspect ratio.
I think my same as yours hasn't got any of that on it.
No. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy being, you know, because it challenges me to make sure that I can get it within that aspect ratio. That's fine. Let's have a look. What's your go-to lens for most shots? I personally haven't experimented with lenses. I've got an extra one over there. I just use this particular one. I'm happy with it, to be honest. I'm one of those where if it's not broken, don't fix it. Even though I love experimenting, I'm still, you know, do I really want to experiment? I should, but I'm, you know, what, I don't know where to start. You know, I'm doing, you know, if someone is doing a beginner's guide to photography that I'm doing for toy photography, I will watch it because I don't know where to start when it comes to changing lens. Everything I've learned photography wise, I've learned through toy photography. So I'm still nowhere near as knowledgeable as a regular photographer. You know, someone who's been doing it for professionally in years and years and years. So I'm still plenty learning. Just when it comes to this particular craft and some of the hurdles and speed bumps you may encounter, that's kind of what the series is about. But this particular lens, I don't even know what to call it, right? EFS 1855mm.
Yeah, I think that's the same one as me. I think most people go around the 50mm.
Yeah.
For what we do. But the two lenses, I've got the 18 to 55 and I've got one that's about like that long.
Yeah, I've got a zoom lens. And for some reason, I can't get that thing to work. I need to sit down with it. But I don't intend on taking pictures all the way back there. So, actual photography, not toy stuff. It's a bit much for that. I'd have to be like 3 streets away to take a photo of Spider-Man. Otherwise, I love those ones with handles at the bottom of it, and there's like a lens is bigger than their head. So the camera's this big, and it's like
that's what you need.
Do you shoot with any macros at all? Macro lens? I don't, but I am such a boomer with cameras in terms of the jargon. I'm not honestly sure what that means. I'm going to get ripped to pieces here. I'm kind of like, when it comes to photography, I'm like Phoebe from Friends who doesn't know the real chords of the guitar. So if you say it looks like, you know, Bear Claw or Old Lady, then I have my own names for shit.
It's closey up lens. That's what it is.
It's a what, sorry?
Close up lens.
I'm getting old. Close up lens. I gotcha. No, not for me. TMT configuration. I used 50 or 85mm f1.8 and Tamron 17.5 f2.8. It's a great sharp lens. Nice. There you go. Might look into that as well.
That's what I've all I understood it, but
George, I'm sorry. Oh dear, yeah, I know. Lesbian seagulls. I know, mate. I know. Yeah. So it's I everything I've learned with the camera is just by doing. Studying by a textbook and jargon. I'm slacking. I need to. So I only know some of the settings, but when it comes to lenses, I'm like hot potato. I just drop it. But yeah, so there's so many different things to pick apart with toy photography, really. But someone asked me in the comments of the second part was of the beginner's guide, as in what's a good DSLR you could recommend under $300. And I had a look because I didn't know what the prices were of new ones, and a lot of them start at 350 on upwards, and then they go crazy. And then he came back and asked me to look at a Panasonic F0 FZ something FZ30, and that's a damn good looking camera with 4K video, and I'm tempted to actually pull the trigger on that. I haven't looked at prices yet, but it looks like an amazing bit of kit.
There's so many good ones out there.
But again,
it's hard to buy a bad one, but if you're just starting out, get a second-hand one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. There's no point going out and spending hundreds and hundreds on something that you don't even know if you're going to enjoy.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. Because you might end up really not liking any of the settings. I would watch if one catches your eye for a good price. You think, oh, this one looks to tick all the boxes. Look it up on YouTube and just watch as many video reviews of it as possible. I do that with phones. If I'm getting a new phone, I do that with any piece of kit I can, just to be 100% sure that everything I'm going to get on with it when I get it in hand. I did that with my tablet. I even did it with the Nintendo Switch I just bought. I didn't know the first thing about that thing, so I wanted to make sure it was going to be a worthwhile investment. The Photo Viper I shoot with a Rebel T6. That sounds like a Terminator. Was it from the future?
The Canon. I think it's the same as that. Like, I don't know if the Rebels are over here or not. I know in the States a lot of them are called Rebels, but I don't know if they're the same ones over here or not.
Yeah, it's a good point. Actually, I'll have to look at those. George, storage question: do you keep any of your packaging of figures? I need to decide whether to keep or throw. Need space. With the more high-end priced figures, I will try and keep the box. I will move all the accessories out and put them in a little baggie, and then keep them in a little tub so I can get to them whenever I want to shoot. But the box itself, I will for like Marvel Legends and McFarlane or anything, or NECA. Now they go in the bin. They go in the bin. For Mafex, Mezco, stuff like that, I will keep just in case if I get myself into a financial pickle and I have no choice but to sell up. Then I've got them ready. I've got them there that I can just box them up, and I can kind of get a similar price. May lose a few quid here and there, but at least that way, if I have to sell up more high-end stuff that's more valuable, I can sort of kind of get my money back. If I find myself in a financial pickle, the cheaper line stuff like Marvel Legends and stuff like that, they go in the bin. They go in the bin.
Is kept. £50 and down is thrown.
Yes, yeah.
That's general.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, question to you, Maverick. Question to you. How is your Archer figure coming along?
He's good. I'm at the last stage. I've got one little bit to paint, and I just lost my motivation for it. I don't know what's happened. He's here now. I'll grab him.
I feel your pain. I have done that more times with a custom than I can count. Look at that thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's so good. I can't get over that.
He's got his removed. I've sculpted this myself. His little made the arrows. So I made individual arrows for it.
See, it's about time we had a proper customizer on the show.
Wait a minute. No, you're dead right, and we've got one. You're dead right.
Got his bow and arrow again, attaches by magnets. Resculpted all the chest. Made his little his medallion. So, he used to have a light up feature which I got rid of, and then sculpted a chest on there. Fully repainted it, but he's just got a little bit of painting left to do, and I think I just need to find that motivation again to do it.
You would think, right? This is a funny thing. You would think being so close to the finish line is motivation enough.
Crazy.
It really, really isn't. Because I'm the same. my Back to the Future Playmobil DeLorean, for example. I know when I'm going to finish that, and before it was me just putting it off because I was just tired. And every time I touched it, something else went wrong with it, and I was done. And now I know everything, every hurdle that I've had come across, I can get over, and I have gotten over, and it's literally just a matter of reassembling. I'm waiting for those new Playmobil kits to come through, and then I'll introduce it through one of them. So I'm biding my time with that now. It's like no, wait a little longer. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, that Archer's is insane, man. That is absolutely insane. Are you planning on doing any more, or is Archer is that it?
No, I'm going to film him. I'm going to go on to Chip then, and then I've got the set. Because it's like they never really did any decent like toys for this line, but these pretty much like 1:1 scale, and the sculpt is amazing. They just had some garbage gimmicks, which get rid of all that, and then they look amazing. Like I say, just hit it with the airbrush, and turns out amazing.
Fire in the booth. Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. No, that's it. For me, when it comes to a franchise I love, I just need and this is something I really want all to represent it on my shelf. I just need a couple. Core characters, just a couple, the main two, like Chip and Archer. Sound it if those are the two, because they are the two. They're the adversary and the hero of that movie. Same for me with, say, like Street Fighter. I just need Ryu and Ken. Done. That's Street Fighter for me. Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Done.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I don't know how much money you have if you felt that way about Turtles.
I know, right? I know. Yeah, never. I need everyone from that movie in figure form, even the camera people working behind the scenes. I need everyone. I don't know why it is. I just need it because I never had it. I want it. Let's have a look at the old chit chatty work. The Arts of Mark. I think it's a Canon D500. Ah, good man. Okay. I use TMNT configuration. I still use Canon 600D for 10 years. Lightly rusty, but doing okay. Cameras last, man. They really do. The battery on mine isn't, but cameras themselves, they do. Shutter was 10K at last year. George Mattel, Maverick, fantastic. Fantastic on the Archer figure there, and it is. Arts of Mark, do you guys 3D print stuff? Sadly, no, but I really want to. And
I just pay others to do it for me at the minute.
Yeah, at the moment we're just funding others, which is fine because I happily, if I really want something, I admire your work, I'm supporting you. I will do that. And the 3D printer I was, Jordan, sadly he's not printing anymore, and I'm sort of in the market. I do like to buy from other people, but yeah, so I would happily buy from other people at the moment. I would like to, because there's things that I would love to just make and design and make myself. Again, it's just another area of time and space, and not in a continuum, sadly. But I respect the hell out of people who are getting into it and have mastered it and doing, and learning all there is to know about it, because they're killing it with some of the work out there.
I scratch built, I think, more than I buy 3D printed stuff now.
Yeah. I mean, I'll sculpt something. I will happily sculpt something. When it comes to like head casts, that's where I really think 3D printing. I mean, like, I was molding and casting myself for a while, and that just got too expensive just because I only wanted to mold and cast one thing, but I had to buy whole gallons of this stuff. And the moment you pop it, you've got to use it all, otherwise it goes in like a week. And it just got a bit too expensive for me. So I had to save up projects till I had enough things to use all the gear for. Turtle 83, I know very well, guys. You know what exactly? You know something. Tell me. Photo Viper 3D printing is fantastic for diary props. Yeah. Who's doing some good work with them at the moment?
Craig Warwick's recently started doing some 3D modeling and printing that off, and he's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he did. I spoke to him think day before yesterday, just spent a fucking fortune on resin again.
That's what scares me. You know, I mean, it's the only way. I mean, Craig is mastered any, you know, with sculpting and soft goods, and it's like, what else can you what area of customizing can you sink your teeth into when you know, outside of tailoring and sculpting and painting, obviously, would be 3D printing. So I'm glad he's diving on that, and I'm glad he's having some fun with it. I need to see his work, actually. I haven't seen any of it for a while.
He's enjoying it for like he's designed his own head sculpt on the 3D software and printed that out.
Awesome. See, that's where it's at. I'd love to do that. Again, it's just sitting down, learning programs and getting the gear. So
I need to get him to make me one of Sammy, I think, next. I want a Sammy one to put on my Spider-Man figure because Sammy fucking hates Spider-Man.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone who can make 3D head sculpts of, you know, us people, put me in touch with, because I needed one of me. I need one of Tom.
You can't sculpt.
I need one of loads of people.
I just need that guy from Big Bang Theory, right? And then I'm.
You know what? I don't think they've ever done any decent Big Bang Theory figures. I thought that'd be awesome for action figures. That'll be another one to add to the list of figures I'd like to see. George, how do you guys feel about the Mythic Legion figures? I like them, but just not enough to buy them. What do you guys think? I like their
exactly the same.
Yeah, I agree. I was just going to word it differently, but essentially, yeah. Really good looking. I'm not that into the fantasy realm, you know. For some reason, you know.
Anyway,
sorry, mate.
Not that sort of fantasy.
Pornhub.
There's no connection to the characters for me. I think a lot of the collecting's like nostalgia, and because there's none there with those, it's just not for me.
Yeah,
I agree. I've got to either already be a fan of something. I mean, I like the idea, you know, brand new looking figures, like with the damn toy stuff. They look cool, and I wouldn't mind having a play with them, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. You know, it's that little bit of reservation. It's not like instant buy for me, but I like the fact that people are putting out their own gear out there and articulated.
They were a little bit cheaper.
Mm.
It'd be easier to dip in and out of and see what they're like, but
yeah,
which is like what, 50, 60 quid a figure?
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah,
like, nah.
Yeah, I think the price is again is a slight put off as well. That's another reason why I haven't put the trigger in. Rob, what body would you put your own custom heads on? Slenderman figure for Ben. That's what I have to say to that. But yeah, you're right. Or Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I started making myself with a Marvel Legend. But yeah, I mean, a taller figure would work, obviously, because I'm quite tall. What about you? What kind of buck would you put yourself on if you're making your own action figure of you?
Is there a slightly overweight lockdown extra pounds book out there? That's me.
No, you're getting abs and you're getting biceps, mate. That's just. I think that's it. The only kind of bucks you're going to get really is just either thin and ripped or massive and stocky, or kingpin. That's kind of it. So look, the Big Bang figures were 5 POA trash. Good for background civilians. So yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, background civilians always, but you know, some of the Buffy figures, Christ. They were more for accessories. I like you. I buy figures sometimes just for the accessories, or if they're going to work as a background figure for civilians than anything. We need Friends and Seinfeld figures from NECA. Oh, can you imagine? Where's the best places you find figures in the UK? Well, there's a few online retailers, mate. There's quite a few. We know a few of them personally. Toys-R-Rama is the one we push. Toys-R-Rama UK. So yeah, I'll have a look at Toys-R-Rama UK. We've also there's Cam from Toy Trash. There's comics and cocktails, but that's up to you. There's in-demand toys, there's Kapow, there's loads. But yeah, we sorry, mate, say that again.
Well, for choice, really, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many brick and mortar stores outside of a Forbidden Planet where you can find one. That that has a big range, rather than seeing a couple of pieces in like Tesco's or M&S or something like that. Here in UK, anyway, we have tons of online stores that pop up and that are doing well, especially as the adult collecting market is booming. So yeah, Toys-R-Us, we will always champion, but you got a whole range there. I'll put a link to Toys-R-Us. It should be in the description if you want to check them out. We have a discount code for them, Turtle Talk, and on selected lines, get yourself 10% off. But yeah,
figure, but it's 50.
Say that again, mate. Sorry.
Found the Leonard figure, but it's 50 quid.
Really? Does it look trash?
I mean, it doesn't look good.
Oh well, but I reckon Big Bang Theory figures would. I don't know if they would sell well now. They would have sold when the show was at its most popular.
I quite like that show, to be honest. I thought it was good.
I did as well. It was it was funny. I like the fact that they were just a bunch of nerds trying to have sex with their hot next door neighbor. I think it's hysterical.
I've never seen an episode.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just giving away the plot of every episode for 10 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're all awkward. They're all nerds. They're all scientists. One of them is a certified genius that has barely any social skills, and you have one that literally tries to bang everything that he can, and it's hilarious. And one who can't talk to women at all without being drunk, and it's.
Quite like this podcast, but we're not scientists.
I just recently learned the difference between a nerd and a geek. Do you know what it is?
Do tell.
Go on.
A nerd is someone who is into all of the stuff that we are, but are socially awkward. Apparently, geek is where we're fine socially, but we just like geeky stuff. I just learned that recently. I had no idea. That could be just one of many different variations. That's just one I heard recently.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Timothy Configuration, one of them should be sponsors for you. Well, Toys-R-Us kind of are. No payment, but we get to use the discount code as well. So we're just happy with that. George, thanks for the chat. Gentlemen, boss is calling, and if I don't go, she'll beat me. Hope to do this again soon. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. You take care, man, and thanks a lot. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, so oh dear, yeah, no, check out Big Bang Theory. I think you might quite enjoy it. I think you would. Lots of comic book references. Yeah, it's just great. And one guy who owns a comic book store, he's always on the verge of wanting to kill himself because he can't talk to anyone. He's that socially awkward. It's hilarious. That sounds morbid, but they do it really well. And you get quite a few celebrity pop-ins too that are in the sci-fi realm, like from Star Trek and Star Wars and stuff like that.
The James Jones episode was funny.
The which one? Sorry.
James Earl Jones when he was on it.
That was brilliant. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious with Carrie Fisher right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but I really want to talk about the scenes. Sheldon is he's obsessed with going to Comic-Con, but they can't get tickets because they missed him for San Diego. So Sheldon has a bright idea of trying to form his own Comic-Con, and he starts trying to reach out to all these celebrities on Twitter and gets nowhere. But he manages to find where James Earl Jones likes to eat dinner. And so he goes and does a fanboy stalk of him and approaches him at a table whilst he's on his own. And James Earl Jones is kind of like, "Oh, you're a Star Wars fan, aren't you?" Yeah. And then he goes, "Do you want to know? Just sit down. You want to know something? Do you?" Like, as if he's going to give him a big lecturing and to leave me alone. He goes, "I like Star Wars too." And he starts doing this, and he's like, "The scene where Vader was his father. Oh, and he starts being a kid, and it's just hilarious. And he just goes on a trip with him. It's fucking brilliant. And then they play a prank on Carrie Fisher. They knock on her house and then run away. And then Carrie Fisher comes out and says, "Damn it, James, not again."
I saw that the other day. They'd never met before that episode.
Really?
No way.
Because obviously James Earl Jones was just the voice.
Yeah.
Like that was the only the first time they properly met was on the set of Big Bang.
Oh shit! I know that's actually bloody good trivia. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she ran up to her and just went, "Dad," and gave him a hug.
That's great. That's great. I do like the Stan Lee one as well. They go and Sheldon ends up getting a restraining order from Stan Lee.
Yeah.
But they get loads of people in. It's fantastic. Yeah, definitely worth watching. I think it's all still on Netflix. I think it is. Yeah.
E4 or E4 or
Yeah. There's like 13 seasons. At one point, got as big in terms of their pay, like $1 million per episode, and went on longer and became the highest viewed TV show. There was the writers were the same writers who did 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen, and obviously the popularity behind that before Charlie Sheen went mental, and Big Bang Theory. So they were just hitting them. I think they're the same people.
Also the same guy that wrote the theme tune for the '87 Turtles.
Yes, there you go. Link to the show.
Full circle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. Finally, the circle is complete. Oh dear. But yeah, Maverick, are you how are you getting on with toy photography? Like yourself, what kind of things were you looking to, apart from what you've seen in the videos that I've done? Is there anything in particular also you want to an area you want to tackle, or something else you're curious about when it comes to toy photography?
I think my biggest thing that I was wanting to know about, which is probably the worst thing that you could probably talk about, is lighting and properly lighting it. And I think like it's difficult for you to say, because I bet each shot is lit differently, and it's just a case of playing around with multiple lights. But I wasn't sure whether you had like a standard daytime lighting setting or a standard nighttime lighting setting. Or I think that's probably one of the things that I'm like definitely wanting to know more about. And I think it's like what you said, like you can't have enough lights, and that's what I've not got a lot of. So I think that's where I'm struggling. So I think I definitely need to kind of go out and buy a lot more lights to make my shots look.
Yeah, for me, it's like if I was going to have any set standards for each shot before I then played around, is I'd have at least one white light, one yellow light, and then if I'm going to double up on anything, it will probably be another white light. At least I have one yellow. And what I like to try and do, if I'm just working with those and I'm not using any others, is if I'm setting up something as, like, for instance, if I'm just doing a profile or a showcase, if I'm just showcasing a figure, I'd have one light on the backdrop, even if it is just the back of my wall. If it's not even a toy shot, it's mainly just like, here's this action figure I just made. If I was going to give him a backdrop, I'd have at least one light on the backdrop, and I would have then at least one overhead on the subject, but not pointing directly at him, pointing sort of casting over him. So like, instead of having it here, I'll have it here. So like half of it is in not shadow, but it puts half of the figure in shadow. Let's say you start creating shadows. If you're not directly aiming the light on me, but you're aiming it like there. And that way, some of my face is illuminated and some of it's in shadow. And that's kind of what I like to play with when I'm setting up, when I'm trying to get some dramatic lighting in. But at least have one overhead, one at the back, and at least one sort of roughly on him, but kind of not. So you got front, back, and middle. Front, middle, and back.
3-point lighting.
Annoyingly, yeah. But I do.
It's the best place to start.
Yeah.
So you'd have a key light, which is lighting your subject.
Yeah.
Then you got like a fill light, which, well, like just basically does what it says, like fills in the gaps, and then you've got a backlight.
Yeah.
Which is like your rim light, basically, to make it pop from behind. And then start off with that, and then move stuff around, add light, remove light. Like you might find the fill light's not working because it's just too much light for what you're trying to do, so you can move that one out. But it's just a good place to start.
Yeah. I mean, I try and, with lamps like these particularly, they're USB charged, but these are white, they have snake necks, can clip, and they have dim, like 3 brightnesses, so I can control that. If I'm using a lamp that I can't control that on, I'll try and use some tissue paper, providing it's LED and it doesn't get too hot. I'll have some tissue paper to take the harshness of it off. And with that, if you use different colored tissue papers, then you can create some different colored atmospheres, which is great. If you haven't got these with the gels on them, that's how, you know, on a budget, you can create different colored by using multiple colored tissue papers.
You can do it with a desk lamp. Just get a desk tissue paper, elastic band.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
So with that Batman shot that you saw, Maverick, like that orange light was, again, if I can get it round, this desk lamp, which is bright in my face. It was one of those, which I just showed you, and this. And no, it was that on a tripod from behind. And what I did is I pointed it away, so it was not, the light wasn't even hitting the figure. And I just, with my vape, I just blew some smoke. So it lit the fog and just gave it that foggy atmosphere behind him.
Yeah.
But essentially I had this there coming to one side, so it sort of lit up one side of him. And then I had that, so it was like showing some street lighting. And then I had the fog. So just to give it some atmosphere. But yeah, it's literally, once you've got something lighting your subject, you know, then you can have a play for effects. That's where I buy these little ones and these little finger lights and stuff like that, so I can hide them but then illuminate the effects. That's when all the extra lights come in, is when you're lighting effects or trying to get a spotlight on them from somewhere. Depends on what kind of scene you're shooting. When it comes to photography, like outdoor, like what Tom's done, I always try and imagine, okay, where would light be from? If I'm outside, where would the sun be in my shot? The sun's coming from over there, so I'm going to try and have an orange light coming from here somewhere so it can illuminate this way. Moonlight and an outdoor night setting. If there's windows, and if I want to simulate that there's someone in whatever building that the figure's next to, then I, instead of just having a light through the window, because all you can see is the lamp through the window, I'll use, which is all behind me, a sheet of carded foam. It's like the little bit of styrofoam with the 2 bits of paper on top, white. Slip that behind and then light that, and then that will give that big band of illumination. So I light the board rather than put the light through the window. So yeah, but the 3-point is a sort of standard. I normally have something illuminating the backdrop, something filling like either from above, which will also act like rim lighting, but also just filling the area or anywhere I want illuminated, and then a light in your subject, and that I can play with shadows and casting shadows across his face or the subject, depending on the situation. But yeah, lighting is where the fun is, also where the frustration is.
Yeah.
But experimenting. But those are the sort of things I keep as standard, is having one yellow and at least a couple of white lights before I start dicking around with color. Especially for like even just lighting the area which I'm shooting a video in. You know, if I'm faffing around with something on camera, it's literally that yellow one and that one up there, just lighting the whole area. So I have these two. This one will be pointing on the subject. The yellow light will be pointing at the backdrop, and this would also hit the backdrop, but mainly on the figure. And then the top one will shine down if the figure's in the middle of the area, so it covers the center of it. So yeah, yes, a lot to take in. But yeah, those are the standard things I do. Let's have a look at the old chit chat.
I'm going to grab a charger for my phone before it dies. Whilst you're doing that, I'll be back in a sec.
All right, buddy, no problem. Yeah, thanks for joining. Take care, George. Neutral lights are best, in my opinion, in the 600 to 700 range. Fair play, fair play. Yo, I made it. What's up, boys? Loco Lou, how you doing, man? the Photo Viper. When I first started, I have my phone in one hand and an LED flashlight in the other. Same. Same. I'd have to hold it. And I'd have one of those push button ones that you can just stick anywhere and just click on and off. And I'd just be like, and take the photo. And then when I finally got it onto a little Gorilla tripod, then I had two. I was just doing this, set it on a timer. It's crazy how far we've come, right? If you haven't got lights and if you haven't got lights enough, you can use long exposure shots for automatic lighting. You can do this on your DSLR or phone apps. Yes, you can. It will be more great and more sharp on edges. Just notice it. Yeah, good advice, good tip. I need to get 1 or 2 of those shirts and hoodies to support channel. Oh, bless your heart, mate. You don't have to, but if you do, that's I really appreciate it. You know, it's all good. No, but if you do, I'd really appreciate it. That's awesome, mate. But don't feel compelled to. You don't feel pressured to or anything like that. But you know, it'd be wicked if you did. That'd be great. But thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate you. So yeah. Oh, good old convo. Good old convo. So yeah, I will be doing a video fully dedicated to lighting. That's coming up. It's not just yet. There's a few other things I want to talk about first in the series. Keep you going because I do feel that I'm sort of trying to. So you have like the first part was here's the essentials that will get you going. Here's, you know, whether you're using a camera already or if you're using your phone, here's what you can do with it. Here's the posing, the framing. And then when I go into setups with diodes, props, sort of just moving up that way. And then we go into lighting, sort of as if you were setting up a shot throughout the whole thing. And then afterwards, it will be handling the social media aspect of the hobby, which would be the social media side on, you know, not having to worry about likes and the algorithms and, you know, stuff like that. Because that's a whole nother kettle of fish itself is when, okay, I've got my shot. Now, what do I do with it? That's another area I want to cover. For the beginner's side, obviously, I know a lot of vets, you already know all the stuff I'm talking about, but I will be getting into some more complex tips and tricks. There's a few I still need to learn. I have never used the glass technique for making something look like it was flying or done something in water. So I'll be picking Tom's brains on that because I know he's done those shots.
A little bit.
You've done well with them, mate. You've done well. I've just started using rain. But I need a bigger spray bottle.
Yeah, that's what you need, a proper, decent bowl. Right, on that note, I'm going to have to bust a move because I've got to be up for work in like 6 hours.
All right, my man. Thanks you very much for stopping by. Appreciate you. Excellent. And take it easier.
See you soon, boys.
Take it easy, man. See you later. Oh, dear. So yeah, so I mean, just a couple of desk lamps will start you off, Maverick, especially if you're doing some showcase stuff. And then yeah, like I say, with lights are the same would be for accessories and stuff like that. Would be just something you just slowly but surely build your arsenal of. So I've got, this is my second one of these because my first broke. I've even got this one, which was a white and yellow, but it died. So I've yet to throw it out because throwing out electronics ain't the easiest thing in the world. But you know, so yeah, I need to get some more of just standard lamps. But yeah, for coloured stuff, and if you want something really bright or to really, you know, have one light be enough to light an entire area, you Lanzi cubes. These are like 20, 30 quid.
Yeah. They definitely seem like a really good investment, especially being able to change colours on it.
Yeah, with the, well, I had them here. The colours, the different colour gels and different colour filters. Yeah, and you can put 2 filters in one if you really wanted to saturate the colour, or if you wanted to because it comes with these diffusers, and you can have a diffuser and then your colour. So you could clip 2 in. There's enough room in the little pegs to clip 2 in. And they screw onto a little Gorilla tripod, and they sell their own tripods, but like the one I'm using for my webcam, this will just screw on like you would a tripod, you know, just standard. What we've got on the base of our cameras. Same, is it the same? Okay. Might be a bit smaller, but yeah. Yeah, so they're great. I've got 3 But these Ulanzi ones, they do die quick and they do heat up quick. So I'm constantly having to charge them. That's the only drawback. So like once I've taken and spent all that time taking a shot, I then go to shoot some behind the scenes stuff and then my light dies. So I'm like,
that's definitely something that I've learned from watching your videos is just how long it actually does take sometimes to set the shots up.
yeah.
Like just all the things to consider, like, you know, hiding the flight stands, using your lighting. It can definitely take a really long time to get that perfect shot that you don't always think about when you see it.
No, that's right. Sometimes if you have a solid idea and you know with what you have in your mind, you can pull it off easily. Like, you know, you've got the particular backdrop that you want to use. You know, you don't have to figure out anything on the fly when you're setting up this shot. Even those can sometimes take longer than you anticipated. Just to tweak it, because something, you know, because you won't know until you get it set up if it's going to work, even if you're confident in your head. And other stuff I will figure out once I'm in it. I'll figure out, you know, I need this thing to levitate over here. How the hell am I going to do that? And then I'll start, okay, how can I use, you know, a flight stand arm, you know, something. And I'll just be like, you know, smothering it in blue tack and then just globbing that on the end and be like, okay, just peek around the corner. Anything. When there are no rules once you're in the Thunderdome, you know, you use absolutely anything at your disposal. I'm always pulling this room apart, trying to find something just to levitate something up that little bit more. So yeah, so anything like that. So, but yeah, and then making sure that even the slightest adjustment, I have to go back and refocus the camera. Amount of times I've forgotten to do that, taking a shot, going back, oh, I've forgotten to refocus the fucking camera. I know. And the amount of times I've done that or done something, not realised something's moved in the shot, confident that I've taken it, and then taken down the whole setup and not realised until I've really studied the shot afterwards. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, you've noticed it. You know, so there's plenty of lost shots that I've not posted that are just like, nope, abandoned. It's all part of the fun though. It's just basically just finding a block of time, you know, couple of hours to have a play. If nothing's, you know, if it's taking longer, then if you have an area where you can leave it set up, you can come back to it another day.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, with this area though, I have to constantly, once I've set it up, I've got to bring it down again, because there's so much storage in here, but all of it's full up with crap. So I'm using this workspace storage too. So all of that gets flung out. Then I've got room to work. And then once it's all done, I pack up, put that shit back. So yeah, I would kill for a lot more room, so I can leave setups set up for longer. But that's just my personal situation. Obviously, a lot of others are, you know, the situations are different. So it just depends on what you've got to work with. So yeah, but the amount of shots I had to do on the floor before I actually got an upright work area for myself. Let's have a look at the old chit chat. For rain, the spray bottle I use is a water balloon pump. Oh, good shout. And creates pressure for a tighter spray. Tiny drips. Nice. Yeah, because obviously I've got a small work area, don't fall over. And I don't want to turn it into, you know, a water park. I've just got one of them. It's not a big fertilizer pump, which I know a lot of people use. But yeah, so I get a little mist. But once I get it up, gravity does its work and I can get some rain looking out of it. It looks a lot thinner. You know, I wouldn't mind some big droplets. But yeah, that's fun to experiment with. And the shutter speeds. What we got here? The Photo Viper, I love shooting with fireworks. It's risky. Oh, you're a pyro one. I like it. It's risky proposition for the figures, but there is no substitute for practical effects. No, yeah, if you can do it, like if you've got an area where it's safe to do so, blow shit up, man. You're like Sid from Toy Story, but not as savage. You know, you're not trying to destroy the figure, but I love seeing people do that with you know, when they just set up a bunch of fireworks, let them go off, and yeah, it just looks like they're in the middle of a battlefield. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Is it Sergeant Bananas that he does some fantastic shots with like fireworks and things like that.
Yeah. He's the one where he's an Adam Savage is tested. Does a lot of
Yes.
yeah. He's great. I've got his book. He actually had a book published, just a big art book of his stuff, which I bought. He does some really good work. There's another chap who does a lot of outdoor stuff. He does some really good Photoshop work as well. And I've got no issues with Photoshop, providing you can make it look, it's done on actual Photoshop, phone app stuff. If you can make it look legit, cool. I forget his name, but I do follow his videos. He just done another one recently. I forget his name, but I'll drop it in the chat. Let me find it on here. But yeah, the practical stuff. He does a lot of firework stuff as well. Let me just try and see if I can find him on the old phone. All I've got to do is type in Thai photography. Jared Middleton. Jared Middleton. I like his videos quite a lot. I believe that's him. I could be wrong. I know. Yeah, no, it is Jared Middleton. Yeah, just his newest video is how to set up a scene. But yeah, he's done some great work, so do check his videos out as well. Okay. My best shot I did on the fly was the Raphael information of the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Got over 500 likes in multiple groups, 2 or 3. In fact, I'm gonna make it my icon. Oh yeah. Nice. Yeah. Mine was how was that? My most successful shot on Insta was the Spider-Man dodging the desk from Kingpin shot. That thing took off and ended up gaining more likes than I had subscribers. That was the one where the algorithm just ran with it. I was getting just non-stop for like 2 days, just notification. But I've had shots. I've seen people put a picture up of their big toe and it's gone viral. And I've seen some genuine work just die. It's for some reason Instagram's algorithm prefers quantity over quality. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Usagi got 25 likes, which a like doesn't equate to how happy you are with the shot. So that's what I've come to terms with.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong. The likes go up the more. Oh, I'll say now, my Instagram's dead, and it has been dead for a while, even no matter what I post. Which is fine. It's it is my art gallery. So whatever Instagram does with their programming, it's up to them. There's not a lot I can do about it. But yeah, it's one of those things where your following will not determine how many likes you get.
Yeah.
You could have 20 followers, and a shot could garner thousands of likes. You think, where the fuck has this come from? But with those likes will come a lot of followers. And you could have thousands of followers and your shot would only get like 100 likes. And you're thinking, is Instagram, there is such a thing as shadowing, where Instagram just will not promote your posts. So there's a lot of artists I follow where I've not seen your work in a while. Where are you? Why am I not seeing your work on my feed? And I go to them and they've posted up like 20 new things. I'm like, why have I not seen any of this? Instagram's a weird place, man. It really is.
Yeah,
it really is. But no, mate. Yeah, your work is crazy. It's one of those things where I wouldn't. One of the things I'll get into with the social media aspect is like literally, do not let how popular with likes your photo gets try and dictate how you feel about it.
Exactly my point. Yeah.
If you're just in it to get the clicks, then you're going to be disappointed. Okay, I've had stuff that I've been really proud of just tank, and I've had stuff which I've just thrown up there for the sake of throwing something up there, and it's gone boom. And I've also had stuff I've been proud of go boom, and stuff rightfully so that I've not been just tank. So literally just as long as you're happy with it, then that's all that really matters, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you're looking to improve, then be open to which is what ACBA is about. So yeah, it's a funny old world, the old social media side of it. So have a look. Arts of Mark, Sir Dork. Yes, Sir Dork. That's another great one too. Sergeant Bananas is also a great landscape photographer too. He is. Yeah, he's a great account to follow. check out Billy Kessler on IG. His effects are primo. Billy Kessler. Okay, yeah, I'll do that actually. That was my favorite Spider-Man shot you did. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with that. That took 5 hours, I think. 5 hours to do that one. Yeah. We will need to work on that photo crossover. Yes, we will, mate. What was Billy Kessler? Right. Let me have a look on here. Billy Kessler. Okay, I'm gonna assume this is him. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'm sharing this now. Where you at? I'll quickly share screen. I won't be too much longer, but I do want to share this. Okay, for outdoors. Am I following this dude? I am now. That's yeah. Go away, Mark. It's a mate of mine. A Facebook notification. Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. And I like it when people, I like this. They're shooting with unconventional stuff you don't always see, and I like it. Like the soldiers and different scaled vehicles and stuff like this here. I really enjoy this kind of work too.
Yeah, like the outdoor photography is definitely an art form, because like you can easily tell the scales out. If you see like grass or things like that. So trying to get everything look in scale outdoors that's a talent.
Like this one.
Yeah.
Wait for it to load. That could be very well what a jungle landscape would look like if you're there. You've got a tower, which kind of draws you into it being in scale, because that's man-made object in scale with these sandbags. Rocks can be all shapes and sizes, so that just gets a pass immediately. And so yeah, that great example there. And this one, I don't even know what this is, and I love the shot.
Yeah, don't know what it is, but I like it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what this is, but it's good. It's engaging, So yeah, lighting on this one superb. Just that sort of side light. So yeah, I'd gather he would have a blue light coming in here. These are the Matrix pillars that came with the Matrix McFarlane figures back in the day, and then you have a warm light coming in here. But see, it's not on them directly, it's just casting across them. So you've got this shadow in here, and the lighting here to fill out the middle is what you're able to pick up this dude, the silhouette of this guy. So it makes you feel like he's in, I'm guessing, some sort of quarry mine area.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really natural lighting on that. It looks great.
Okay. All right. That looks like he's in the middle of Antarctica for legit. Yeah. Now, I have no idea if this is actually practical snow, how he's got the blast, or if this is actually a Photoshop effect. Either way, the lighting and the fact that he's already snow covered, it blends really well. But it's pulled off. If you want the aim of this photo to look like it's in a snowy area, then it works. Pulls it off. So yeah, no, I'll definitely happy to follow this account. So good shout on that. Appreciate it. Let's have a look at the old chit chat. My best shot is Raphael standing outside with the Cretier skate. Even Kevin Eastman liked it. Nice. Yeah, no, Timothy, you have been killing it with your photography lately, especially with your recent dioramas. I absolutely love the one with Casey jumping over the fence with Raphael right on the rooftop behind in the moonlight. That's some serious depth. That's crazy, the amount of room needed for that, but you pulled it off. Yeah, man, your IG's blowing up, and deservedly so, mate. deservedly so. I am Horsley Mike on IG. If you'd like to see my work, yeah, for sure, man. Photo Viper. So Horsley Mike. Okay, let's have a quick look. Horsley. And I'll follow you now. Nice. See this I like here. Like that. It gives you that. Exactly. It's the computers are fantastic. I like the 3D printed as well. But you know, posing there, he looks like he's engaging with his computer. This one, he looks like they're focused on that one. You know, it's good camera angle as well. It's direct. It's directly on them. So that one's a good one. Here again.
Yeah, it's not sharing it. If
Oh, is it not? Oh, my bad. Sorry. So I'm being selfish. Enjoy.
Describe it to me, Ben. Describe it.
Describe it to me, Ben. Sorry, that's me. That's back end. Let's have a look. See, what kind of diorama setup is this? Is this? I take it this isn't a printout. It's obviously paneling.
Looks like something from the Technodrome, like NECA would do.
Yeah, crazy. I do like this. I like this quite a lot. So these are obviously these are 3 3/4. Fair play. Yeah, that I want to know where that paneling's from. I like this industrial stuff, you know, because I've seen people turn, you know, those collapsible plastic crates where you can just unfold and all of a sudden you've got yourself a crate and you can collapse them back down. That they have such weird sci-fi looking paneling patterns on them that I've seen people just use them as a sci-fi background wall. Just resourceful, just crazy as things that you can think of outside the box.
Yeah.
Oh, the rock and roll stuff. Okay. Yeah, I like the red light. I like the red light here. It gives it that sort of atmosphere, you know. And the shadowing, you know. You highlight all the speakers. You got enough subject light on the subject matter to see what's going on. You got a nice red light. I like that a lot. Just coming in. And that's another thing with lighting. I've seen people, and I've advised them as well. If you're going to have one main color filling in your entire shot, like say you want to do something horror or in hell, and you would have a big red light that just gives you that big red atmosphere in your shot, it's going to wash out every other color in the shot. So I would offset it with a white light, so you can light your subject matter, you know, still, but then you'll still have that red atmosphere all around. So you always introduce a light, another light to offset it. Is another bit of advice.
Ooh.
Just so otherwise everything just gets washed out, especially if there's already red on the action figure. I'm just using that as one example, and it just completely washes the whole thing out. So like if you wanted to use a yellow background, I wouldn't use a yellow background if the figure I'm using has a yellow suit. Like I wouldn't use a yellow bit of poster board if I wanted to shoot Wolverine, because you'll just get lost in the background. Yeah. You know, I'll have it orange or I'll have it blue. You know, some colors complement each other, so experiment that way too. Yeah, no, you do good work, mate. Definitely, you got this. I like this. You killed this shot completely.
Yeah, definitely. Keep it up.
But yeah, I'll keep an eye on your stuff, mate. I'm going to pause it there, and I'm probably going to call it at night because I'm gagging for a cup of tea. Complex base system by Regain Raging Spawn. No, okay, cool. I'm making a note of that now. Let me have a look at that. Let me just type it in my notes because I've forgotten how to write. It's been so long. Raging Spoon. Got it. Okay. All right then, chaps, I appreciate everyone watching. I'm going to call it there. Maverick, thank you so much for popping on, mate. It's been a pleasure. Absolutely loved having you back on, dude.
Yeah. Cheers for having us.
No, absolutely, mate. We'll get you back on again as well. And yeah, we're going to start, once we get the watch along whenever we do it out of the way, then yeah, we'll start bringing in some more guests as well. Get a big. I'd love to get everyone on one just to have a big fucking hilarious chit chat with everyone. And I'll start bringing in some more that I haven't met yet. And yeah, so lots to come, but I appreciate it. Hopefully, you know, I'll do another one of these towards the end. Well, actually, once I've finished the beginner's guide series, I'll do another one in case anyone else had any more questions going forward with the other topics that I cover. And but yeah, I'll be getting onto some custom work again soon. I just want to get this series finished out first. So that will be it from me. Do check out the social medias of everyone we've spoken to. It's in the chat. Obviously, Maverick's here. Let's have a look. So yeah, Maverick5 UK, do check him out on Insta. I'll put his link in the description. Fantastic customizer, and yeah, just great, man. Thanks a lot for having me on. Having you, thanks a lot for joining me, is what I'm saying.
No, thank you.
Nah, all good. And chat, thanks again for stopping by, and yeah, keeping up with us. I appreciate you, and yeah, take care. Like on the way out if you can. Sub to the channel if you're new, and we'll catch you next time. Take it easy, everyone. All right. That's it. All right.